Yeah, you can start the session.
Okay. Good evening to one and all present here. Myself, G. Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology, Rajapalayam. On behalf of Department of Civil Engineering, RIT, I would like to welcome you all for this technical webinar on recent trends in coordinates-based survey technology, which is organized by Department of Civil Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology, Rajapalayam, in association with Land Coordinates Technology, Chennai, and the RIT ICI Student Chapter. So first, I cordially invite today's speaker, Engineer Er.A.Selvam, General Manager, Land Coordinates Technology, Chennai. Also, I welcome Professor Dharmar, Head of the Department of Civil Engineering, RIT Rajapalayam. Also, I welcome all the participants from Tamil Nadu and other states and also across the country for this technical webinar. So I hope today's webinar will be useful for all the participants. It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Engineer Er.A.Selvam. He completed his graduate in BE degree Civil Engineering from Satyabama University, and he completed master degree in Construction Engineering and Project Management in the Department of Civil Engineering of B.S. Abdul Rahman University, and he has published more journal paper and national conference papers in different engineering colleges. His area of interest is project pre and post clearing from different departments. And also he has consulting with Chennai Metro project, and he acted as guest lecturer in Center for Survey Training and Research, Chennai, and also guest lecturer in Anna University, Madras University, and CPT Institute. And he is technical member for Survey and Land Record Department and Government of Tamil Nadu. He has authorized trainer for LiDAR, DGPS, and total station. He delivered more than 5,000 students for survey training and also conducted 100+ training program in several engineering colleges across India. Also, he conducted international training program, and he delivered 1 month international training program related to LiDAR, DGPS scanner to the survey engineering department at Qatar. He also project associate with the transmission line, bin mill erection, NH road alignment, etc. So with this brief introduction, now I cordially invite Engineer Er.A.Selvam sir to deliver this technical webinar on recent trends in coordinates-based survey technology.
Yeah, thank you. So, shall we start the program?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I welcome to all the people who are all joining in this webinar. So, also I thank to RIT people who are all always supporting with our organization. A special thank to HOD sir and Karthikeyan sir for coordinating of this training program. So today we are going to discuss about the geospatial industry, which we are highly innovated in our civil engineering. So I just share my screen for our more detailed things. I hope my screen is visible, right, sir?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Thank you. Yeah, so as we know the name in survey, in this survey generally we are call it as data collection. right? The survey, think of the survey in English word, just we can say like data collection, right? So there are many data collections are there in the field, right? So if you are collecting the transport, that's called a traffic survey, right? For developing of road or any other things which we want to do, we need to do the traffic survey. In the traffic survey, we are collecting peak hour, non-peak hour, type of vehicle, many things we are collecting. Right? For the population calculation also is there. In such a way, there are many surveys are there for the purpose of developing of in that particular area, right? For the road development or facilities, whatever the required, we need to do the survey as our first and preliminary steps, right? So there are two major things which is going to involved in our survey. Generally, we are coming under the land survey, right? So that's the thing we will conclude in beginning itself. So we are purely dealing with the land survey, right? So we are going to collect the land related of data, right? So why this data is required, right? So why this land survey data is required? Because for any kind of development, for infrastructure or any other like a road or a railways development, whatever the developments is going to happen on land, so we need to know the detailed profile of the particular land, right? So that's the reason we are collecting the land survey. In this collecting of the land information, generally we are dividing into the three major measurements, right? So once you are starting off land survey, immediately you have to do the measurements, right? So the measurement in olden days, right? In olden days, earlier days itself, we are using the linear is also one measurement, angular is also one measurement, the level is also one measurement, right? These are three measurements which we are using in the land survey industry, right? So after collecting of this linear, angular, level, we are working with the mathematical formula, right? So based on the mathematical formula, we are identification of area of the particular land, and then undulation, that means the topographical variation or slope variation of the particular land, right? Then shape of the land, which with the base of our survey data, we can get the what is the shape of the land, right? Based on all this information, the designing people are who are all going under the designing part, they need to know the availability of land, area of land or shape of the land, right? And then orientation of the land, nearby development of that land information is very, very important for the designing people. So that's the reason we are using our survey. This is called a pre-survey or planning survey, right? So before starting of any construction activities, we are doing the like a preliminary or pre-survey, right? The topographical information. Once the topographical information are collected, based on the topographical information, the designing people has completed their designing structural design or any other design, then we have to execute on the design in the field. So then the survey is coming into for the construction survey, right? So there are two major part is there in the survey industry. One is the pre-construction, another one is ongoing construction. As a survey, our survey engineers have two different type of responsibilities on the field, right? So just we will go with our what are the technology or what are the equipment we are using to collect this linear, angular, level measurement in the earlier days, right? As we have in your syllabus, if the people are joining the civil engineer, you people may know what are the equipment which we are using under this vertical. If college students or any other school students are joining in this session, I will explain what are the equipment for the linear measurement. So we are using tape, chain, right? So tape, chain, EDM as our preliminary equipments. So for collecting of distance, for measuring of angular, we are using prismatic compass and then theodolite, right? So this is our angular equipment. For leveling, we are using dumpy level, tilting level, right? So these are all our conventional equipment. Based on the equipment, right? So once you have to collect the field data, come back to the office, then you are starting with your calculation, right? After the completion of calculation, you have to produce on your map, right, with the drawing sheet. After that only, your survey responsibilities will be completed. This is what happening in the earlier days. Right, so during the measurement or during the calculation or during the plotting, n number of errors are possibilities. During the measurement, we have a sagging error, pulling error, temperature error, right? During the calculation, we have a numerical error. During the plotting, we have a scale factor adopting error, right? So this much of errors are occur in our earlier day or conventional method of survey system, right? So the thing is the recent the technology is coming up with or minimizing of those errors, right? So that's what the technology they are adding into the fourth measurement in our industry. Measurement industry. So that is called coordinate based survey techniques, right? Earlier linear, angular, level, this three measurement was only is available in our civil engineering. Now the technology has changed entirely as a coordinate based technology, right? So while using your coordinate based technology, no need to do any individual measurements, right? So if example you are measuring one square shape of land or irregular shape of land, you need to put one rough diagram, then you have to mention A to B what is the distance, B to C what is the distance, or C to D what is the distance, right? Everything you have to note it down. But using a coordinate system, it's giving some unique value of particular point. For A point, you have a unique value. Unique value means it's called like a x comma y, right? So overall using in AutoCAD, right? AutoCAD software. The AutoCAD is also run behind the coordinate based technology. For every point, right, you have a unique value, right? Once if you are moving on your mouse, for the x comma y values keep on changing, right? So the same way on field also they are adopting this technology, right? So that is called the coordinate based technology, right? The coordinate based technology is a latest measurement concept. First we have to ensure on this, right? So the coordinate based technology is our fourth measurements on in our measurement industry, right? So the measurement, everybody's are using the measurement. Maybe this mechanical people is also using measurement, electrical people also using measurement, civil engineers also using measurement, but most of the case the civil engineers are using high accuracy, that is called a engineering grade of measurement. Also we are always running behind the measurement concept, right? So that's the reason the data collection, see, for the creating of a map with the AutoCAD is an easy thing, but for data collection on field, so we need to use the higher technology. So that's called the coordinate based, right? So based on the coordinate based technology, there are different method of data capturings are available, or the technologies are available on field, right? The different method of data capturing. So that is what we are saying. Total station is a one kind of data capturing technology. GPS is also one kind of data capturing technology. GIS is also one type of data capturing technology. Drone is also one type of data capturing technology. So, right. So in this area, all the technology, the aim of the technology is to collect the coordinate on the field point, right? If you are taking one empty land, right? So it is like a 1 square kilometer or 1 acre, whatever the land, you are going to collect entire coordinate point. You are going to collect entire coordinate value, right? So that is what the technology is going behind, right? So generally, the total station, right? The total station and DGPS, it will be choosing based on your accuracy, right? So while collecting the coordinate, we are facing the accuracy. The end user is always expecting of the accuracy, right? The total station is the engineering grade of survey. It is always used millimeter accuracy, right? The output of total station data is comes 1 millimeter to 5 millimeter, right? So the GPS is also giving the coordinate, but the GPS coordinate is always compared with the global point, right? So the total station is always compared with within your site limitation, whichever you are adopting your limitation, right? If you are planning with 5 square kilometer of data or 1 square kilometer of data, right? Based on your limitation, you can get the value. But the DGPS technology is also collect the coordinate, but the coordinate is always compared with the global point, right? So like Google Earth. So whatever the points you are collecting, these points is always compared with the global point, right? The global points means if you are taking some points in your Rajapalayam or in Chennai, you can compare the point with even any location, right? You can compare this location from even US or Singapore or any part of the world, right? So that is what this technology, the coordinate technology, is highly adopted in the infrastructure project as well as the transportation infrastructures. Why? Because the transport or any infrastructure, we need to know the location, right? Generally, what we are doing nowadays, everyone are starting to use the Google Map. Right? If you want to go somewhere, you are searching some detail from Google Map. Based on the Google Map, it will also guiding to you to reach on that particular point, right? So the thing is, it's a unique value, right? If you are typing some location, it's a unique point for that particular location. Based on the unique value, automatically in Google Map have a one base map, right? The Google have a one base map. That's a pre-surveyed map, right? The Google is already, Google people has done that survey work with the entire globe. Based on the database, they have a location identification, right? So the same way, the DGPS is always used with even for our every mobile phone, every Uber, Ola, cabs and Swiggy, everybody's have the GPS device on their equipment. So that based on the GPS, so we are collecting the data, right? So based on the client requirement, if you are planning within your boundary, that means within your limitation, no need to go for higher technology, right? No need to go for higher technology. That means if the total station is more than enough, right? So whenever your data or your drawing is going to evaluate with national level or international level of comparison, so you need to adopt the technology with DGPS, right? So based on the client requirement, you have to choose the technology, right? So this is what the difference between this total station and DGPS. That's the reason all the construction activities is related with the total station concept. All the railways, highways, or any other infrastructure projects is related with the DGPS, right? And then CAD, as we know everybody, so after collecting of the field data, we need to we need to draw the data with the help of software. So that's the software is called a CAD, right? Based on the CAD, no need to do any scale factor adaptation, right? No need to do any starting point, ending point. It is automatically choosing on their location, right? So the CAD is only for the plotting, to get the area, distance, angular, whatever the outputs, if you want, you can get from CAD, right? Another technology is a GIS, right? So this is called a Geographical Information System. Okay? So this technology is mainly used for meter or 1.5 meter accuracy of data. If some project, right, some planning projects or any other preliminary project, so the accuracy is not essential. Right? If example, we can say like there is one proposal from Chennai to Salem, right? A new greenfield highway the government has planning. In that project, they want to know some preliminary data, right? The project, whether it is possible or not. In that such a case, no need to go with the engineering grade of survey, right? No need to do that much of accuracy survey because that project is not allotted. They are planning whether it is possible or not. They are doing some feasibility study, right? So in that point, we have a Google map already. In Google has created entire route and entire topographical information. It's a 70% of data are available on Google, right? Also, we have the special data are also is there with the government department, right? So even in ISRO have some images, data images, right? Based on the image, right? Based on the open source image, we can use that image with the software that is called a GIS software, a geographical information software. Based on the image, you can trace the route, right? You can trace the particular route. You can get the what are the intersects. In some routes, they have some rivers are intersecting, or railway routes are intersecting, right? In sometimes you are going along the hilly terrain, right? So we can plan based on that. So the GIS is an open source platform. Even in India and as well as in the Asia countries, as well as the European countries, also the Middle East people are using the GIS because without field data capturing, right? Without field data capturing, for total station we need to do the field data capturing. DGPS we need to do the field data capturing, but GIS no need to do the field data capturing. We can create the route alignment and everything with the help of open source data, right? So the another technology is a photogrammetry. The photogrammetry is also the software progress, right? So in current situation, everybody are saying this is a drone, right? The drone. Generally, everybody used to see the drone in our regular activities, right? So even the media people are using the drone. And then some inspection people also using drone, right?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there is one dialog box at the bottom of the screen, sir. Can you see that below the car? Hide. Press that hide button, we can see the title of it.
Okay, fine.
Or near that blue color, next to blue color one, hide is there. Hide one.
Yeah, just I remove it, sir. 1 second.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so the airborne, the LiDAR, right? The LiDAR or the drone technology. See, as we concluded in our starting itself, so our aim is to collect the coordinate, right? So that is a fourth measurement. But these are all the method of data collection, right? So the people, you just very clearly understanding on that, right? The drone is also collecting coordinate. GPS is also collecting coordinate. Total station is also collecting coordinate. GA is also collecting coordinate. For every method, some advantages, some disadvantages is there. Even for the cost wise is some advantage, disadvantage. Accuracy wise, some advantage, disadvantage. Time wise, some advantage, disadvantage. These three is always decide the methodology, which method we are going to take, right? The rest of the even the method of survey, topographical survey, contour survey, marking survey, right? Alignment survey, that is a method of survey. For all the technology, we can use a method of survey, because every method have a one principle, right? So for marking, we have a different principle. For contouring, we need to take the proper interval of data capturing. Right? That is a method of survey. We are not, because that is a detailed study, right? So now we are go through about how the coordinate technology used in our survey industry, especially for planning and monitoring area, right? The drone, right? So the drone is a recent trend. The recent trend means last 5 years, even after 2015 or 16, the drone, what we call the drone availability or importance, right? The drone importance on civil engineering is very high. Why? Because the example, you are collecting of topographical data, right? Even if you are, we have a Chennai Metro, right? So during the starting of Chennai Metro, before starting of the route, we need to know what is the route alignment, right? What are the problems are there along the route, right? So many area we have a residential park, right? Many areas we have even lakes also is coming, right? Even the bridges is also coming. In some area, railway tracks is also coming. So before designing part, we need to know the topographical, right? So for 1 square kilometer of detailed topography, right, based with the help of total station or GPS, right, based on the terrain, if it is a urban or if it is a rural or if it is a hill, we will take 5 to 10 days of data capturing duration, right, for topographical data capturing. But using of LiDAR technology, within a half an hour, right, 30 minutes of flying, right, you can get 1 square kilometer of topographical information. So that is what the people are highly choosing. The drone is a very essential thing, right? Especially for the Middle East, right? In India, we have one major constraint, that is a vegetation, right? We have more trees, right? Because it's the drone is always flying on in 70 meter above the earth. So that's the reason that trees, under the trees, we may the data are missing. Okay, so for using of the Middle East country, there is not much number of trees. So that's the reason they can straight away taking off 90% of data. Right? The topographical survey, the 90% of data they are taking with the drone. If any under the roof or any under the trees data only, they can use total station. Right? For India, in some terrain we are using 50% of data. In some terrain we are using 70% data capturing. Right? Also, there is one advantage for the topography. If example you are under the electric department, the electric department, they want to know the electrical lines, right? How many posts, right? How many transformers are located in across that 1 kilometer? That's the data only they required, right? If you are taking the drainage, right? The drainage facility, right? Even the metro water kind of people, they want to know are there, right? How many householders are there, right? They want to know that kind of data only, right? If it is taking any other the water system, like the even you are providing the drinking water to the house, so they want to know the entire detail, street detail, right? But using of drone, you can take all the information. If you want to take that photocopy from the photocopy, if you want to take the electrical information, you can take. If you want to take some pipeline detail, you can take. Rest of the image, you can delete it, right? So that is also the one big advantage using the drone, right? For the total session, whichever the points you are collecting, that only point you can get the data. The GPS is also the same thing, but drone, you can take entire information. how many trees, how many streets, how many houses, right? How many, what we call the pond or lake, whatever the features are there during your data capturing, you are taking up. Right? So that's what the drone is highly involved in our civil engineering industry. Also, it is a very good monitoring system, right? During high-rise building, right? During the high-rise building, there are many misplays are happening. Right, so if you are taking some chimney construction, right, it is a vertical one, right? So for every day or every time, the project manager or senior people cannot visit on top area. So in that's the time the drone is a highly supportive for every day evening or every day the end of the day they are simply flying the drone. They are taking entire capturing. Right, whether the scaffold stability or the laborers are misplacing any valuable things on the top of the particular construction area, everything they are monitoring. Immediately they are control this kind of accident or this kind of error, right? So that is also ongoing construction for maintenance, right? Even for the telephone tower or transmission tower or any other pre-engineering structures like the bridges. Right, if you are taking the Howrah Bridge, even in India, so you can fly the drone because for the inspection you need to do many scaffolding setup, many things we have to provide. But based on the drone, within an hour you can inspect easily. Right, so that is also the drone is highly involved in our area. Also the volume calculation, right? The volume calculation of many area. I will mention few areas. One is for the mining, right? Another one is for the stockpiles, right? In the railway, right? Along the railway track, we may saw n number of stockpiles, like coarse aggregates, right? So they want to know what is the volume of the stockpile, right? Mining people, they want to know what is the today's productivity, right? So then the hilly terrain, they want to know what is the contour variation. And then for the municipality, they are dumping the garbage waste in particular area, right? For every municipality, they have a garbage dumping yard. Once the dumping yard gets full, they want to replace it, right? So they are calling for tender. They want to know what is the volume of the garbage waste, right? The people cannot access on that garbage waste, right? So it's always it's not, they are not properly maintaining. So for that's the reason this drone can take the entire image. They will create the volumetric of that one. So that's the reason for all the industry. So we are using the drone. So while using the drone, we have a many data capturing principle are there. We cannot straight away capturing the drone data. We have to utilize route plan. Right, the route plan is also very essential, and type of camera, right? There are many types. Oblique camera is there, and the normal camera is there. So based on the requirement, right? Based on the accuracy, with the help of drone, we can go 10 centimeter of accuracy of the data also. Right? So based on that, we are using the LiDAR. After capturing of LiDAR data, that photogrammetry is a software, right? Using the photogrammetry software, we are extracting the data, right? Because during the LiDAR data capturing, you may get 10,000 of photocopies, right? For the 1 square kilometer of land, you may get 10,000 of photocopies. In these photocopies, most of the images are coming with repeat manners, right? Because it is taking every 2 minutes or 2 seconds as a single photos. So that we have a automatic stitching option, right? If you are taking 20 photos in a particular same point, so which is the best quality, the photogrammetry software can adopt that particular point, right? Then automatically stitching, right? Finally, it gives the single image. Okay, finally it gives the single image. Based on the image, we can extract the number of households, number of streets, number of light posts, number of junctions, number of intersections, width of river, right? Width of the bridge, right? Any what we call the land acquisition, even along the river, there are many people are what we call encroach the particular land. Everything we will monitor, right? Everything we have to extract from that image, right? So that is what another the technology is called the LiDAR technology, light detection under range. That is also collecting of coordinate, right? So that is also collecting of coordinate. For LiDAR data capturing, we have two methods. One is vehicle mounted, another one is a tripod setup, right? So that is called a terrestrial LiDAR and mobile LiDAR. For highways and railways, right? In these two infrastructures are highly essential for developing of the country, right? So if want to do any developing activities, right, they want to do the survey, because then only the designing people to know the widening possibilities are there or not, whether the existing government land is available or we need to buy the land from the private people, right? Whether it is a narrow curve, right? Whether it is a 4 junctions or 5 junctions, right? So everything we need to get this information. So that's the reason the government of India, especially for the national highway and the Indian railway, for topographical data collection, right? It's a huge durations is happening, right? If you are taking Chennai to Kanyakumari project, right? It is a 600 kilometers from Chennai to Kanyakumari. If they want to do some development activities, means they want to collect the data, right? It will hardly taking 1 or 2 years of duration. After the data collection, designing, government approval, then it will be completing of the 5 years, right? Then it will come for election. So that's the reason these two major departments are proposed this two technology. That's a mobile LiDAR technology. The vehicle mounted technology is very, very essential for the data collection, because you can get the 80 kilometers of data per day, right? You can get the topographical data 80 kilometers. You are using the mobile LiDAR, right? You can get the 80 kilometers of field data. After that, we have a office processes there, right? Once if you are completing of your field data, then you can use multiple system, right? Multiple system to do the CAD extraction, right? So that's the reason they are using. Another, the terrestrial LiDAR, it is mainly for the as-built survey, right? As-built survey, right? If example, you are giving some complicated structure, right? Complicated structure, maybe the designing you may get from the international designing team. The same designing, whether we are executed or not, we can use this scanning equipment, then we can overlapping, right? Overlapping means, so we are scanning on field, already we have a designing like a bin, right? So based on the bin software, we can evaluate how much it is correct, any deviation is occur or not, right? So everything we can identify with the help of this terrestrial LiDAR. Also we can use for the 3D modeling, right? The 3D modeling is also we can use this terrestrial LiDAR, right? So these are all the technology which we are using in our civil engineering area, right? So this much of advanced technology is going on in the civil engineering technology. Maybe we were aware of total station in some people. Many of us even they doesn't have an idea. Why? Because generally the mind says the civil engineer is always build the building, right? Or any soil sampling or construction building, this related only. But civil engineering have another important area. So that is a geospatial. This technology is called nowadays, it's a geospatial industry, right? The geospatial industries nowadays, the people is called like not a land survey. The people started to use the geospatial, right? Above the earth data calculation, right? Whatever the data is required, they are able to collect, right? So we can we can merge the data like a total station, GPS, GIS, the LiDAR data or drone data, right? All together we can provide the delivery also. The thing is, in India, they are slowly adding into this technology, like a photogrammetry, drone, this LiDAR technology into their syllabus, right? So most of the colleges, especially for IITs, maybe IITs have the photogrammetry GIS. Nowadays, they are trying to add this LiDAR technology, but industry, right? The industry is already started to use a LiDAR technology. Right, Government of India already give the terms of reference. The survey should be done with mobile LiDAR only, right? So the thing is, there are plenty of job opportunities are there in this civil engineering, because this kind of work can done with civil engineers only, not a mechanical engineer or any other engineers, right? Because they need to know the civil fundamental knowledge, then only you can use this technology. Because what is the scale factor, right? What is the coordinate? Why we are using this technology, right? So that's it. That is a basic of civil engineers. So that's the reason there are plenty of future opportunities are there, because the people are struggling how to calculate, right? If you are taking some limestone mining, the government already allotted for the private people to extract the natural source. In some people, they are maintaining proper extraction, right? If example, every year you have to take it off this much of volumetry, but many of us not follow that thing. So how we are evaluating? Based on this drone technology, we can evaluate whether they are deviating the limitation or not. So this is what we are, what we call this kind of seminar, or this kind of things we are educating to the people, because even our old people, those who are working on the industry, even they don't know which technology is there, because in earlier days there is no technology, there is only tape, chain, theodolite, this is only the equipment, but now there are different technologies are there, right? So this is what what we call it's eye-opening of the technology. There are, because we have every detailed courses which we have, even we already associate with the RIT for providing of detailed training program, even total session, GPS, photogrammetry, drone, for every vertical we are running like a value-added courses with the certified courses which we are running. So this is what the today's session. So we will go with our what we call the interaction session. So if you have any doubts or any questions related on this, you just raise your queries. Yes, sir. Yeah, anybody's have doubts or anything, you just go. I just drop my contact number in message, so if you want any details, you just reach me. Good, sir. Yes, sir. Someone is trying. Because whatever you want, you just ask. Because hello.
Participants are requested to.
Yeah, no problem. So if you you don't worry about the communication or anything. If you நீங்க தமிழ்ல கூட கேட்கலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. Because many of us join, that's what we are presenting. நீங்க தாராளமா பேசலாம், ஏன்னா இது வந்து உங்களுக்காக தான் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் பண்றோம். உங்களுடைய டவுட்ஸ் தாராளமா கேளுங்க. Yeah, someone has asked the question in message. So which survey is more accuracy, drone or total station? The accuracy part, the total station is always more accuracy because there is a 1 millimeter accuracy. The drone is always use 5 to 10 centimeter accuracy only, right? The accuracy based, right? For the purpose, right? Which purpose you are going to do the survey. Based on the purpose, you can choose the technology. For the accuracy based, the total station and terrestrial LiDAR, these two technologies always use the millimeter accuracy. Any other question? Because this kind of question is very important. Why? Because then only we have to knowing the technology. கேளுங்க யாரும் உங்களுக்கு டவுட் இருக்கோ கேட்கலாம். No issues. Someone has asked, total station can affected by local attraction? Nothing. Right, so it's an electronic equipment. So the prismatic compass have a needle, right, the magnetic needle. So that's the reason it is attracted with the local attraction. For total station, there is a no constraint. For GPS, we have a constraint because under the tree or under the roof, the GPS is not performed well. Right, the total station is there is a no constraint. Just ask anybody because we are doing many training program because in the civil engineers, so we only facing this all problem. So you are completing of your engineering, so you may facing many problems. So that's what you have to stable yourself, right? So other than main reason, right? So you have to get more knowledge about in this industry because without survey. You cannot start up of any activities in the civil engineering field, right? So survey is very, very essential. No, any other questions? Because many even students is also joined, right? Any other questions?
Kindly post the questions in the chat box.
Yeah, you can post the questions also because we are watching chat box. Yeah, so there is one question. How to calculate distance with the GPS coordinates between 2 points? There is a generally the calculation of distance between 2 points. So d is equal to root of x1 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus y2 whole square. This is a formula. Generally, by using of total station or GPS, we have to collect that particular point. If you take the A is 1 point, B is another point, means you have to take the A as your first point, B as your second point. So after that, automatically using the software, we will get the distance of the point, height variation of this 2 point, and then angle of this 2 point, right? For using this technology, no need to apply any mathematical formula. So for all the equipment have that much of capable. So any other questions? Yeah, another question is there. For measuring depth of water, which instrument used? So that is coming under the bathymetry survey, right? So that is not a land survey. So that is a bathymetry. It's a sonar. Laser is they are using, right? Yeah, once again tell for formula D equal to root of x1 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus y2 whole square, because we are collecting xy for A point, xy for v point, right? So x is x comma y, right? So that's such a way we are collecting. Right, so good. So any questions are there, you just drop. Otherwise, I will once again put my number 9841804241 is my number. So my name is Selvam. So we are mainly focused with this knowledge sharing to the engineering students, right? So that is one vertical which we are doing. Even we are doing consultancy also. The main thing is for the academic part, so we are sharing this technology because in India there is no specified course in the survey industry. There is only one course. The selected colleges only have geoinformatics, right? So the geoinformatics in that course is also not considered for the core of civil engineering, right? That's only core of mapping, right? So the civil engineering, our main aim is how to involve this new technology in civil engineering, right? So that is the more demand, right? So that is a more demand because for surveys also we can do and section also we can do. So that somehow survey. Yeah. So how are the surveyors can get benefits? So if example, if any old surveyor, right, or even if you ask how much of difficult during the survey calculation or data collection or plotting, the people have facing the problem. Even the 20 years before, there are big issue. That means the big problem for doing the survey. But now, using of this technology, your only responsibility is to take or to collect the field data, right? For rest of the case, you have a AutoCAD. If you are connecting polyline, you can get the area. If it is in the old days, you have to plot the data with help of scale factor because you are collecting 100 meter of length of data. In A4 sheet, you cannot directly point it out the 100 meter. You need to apply the scale factor. Then you have to apply the formula. If it is a square shape, we have a formula. If it is an irregular shape, we need to apply the number of triangulation. That much of problems are happened in earlier days. So nowadays, it's a very comfortable to do the survey, right? So these are all the benefits of these things, right? The surveyor can easily get the solution. Yeah, the structural audit, the external structural audit, we can use the drone, right? So for the internal corrosion, right, or any other things, we will go with the laser technology or NDT technology for identification of the inspection and all, right? So for the external, we can use drone. Yeah, for structural detailing, it's own work, right? So for only external things only we can use the drone. Okay, I hope so. If people may get idea, right? Okay, fine. So any doubts?
Webinar, sir.
Sorry? Yes, sir. Tell me, sir. Karthikeyan, sir.
Shall we end this webinar, sir?
Yes, yes. We can end it up.
Yes, sir. On behalf of Department of Civil Engineering, RIT, I heartily thank Engineer Selvam sir for taking wonderful session on recent trends in coordinates based survey technology. So which is very useful, sir. Very informative information related to the survey technology. So I hope all the participants are enjoyed in this webinar. So once again, I thank all the participants and the Engineer Selvam sir for this technical webinar on recent trends in coordinates-based survey technology. So thank you, sir. Thank you for sparing your valuable time with us.
So thank you for everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. And thank you all the participants. In the next week also, we are going to organize one technical webinar on the use of innovative technologies in construction industries in association with Infinity PMC Private Limited on coming Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.